Community members in Corbin are coming together to remember an 8-year-old who died earlier this week.
And a Knott County firefighter dies after decades of service. His fellow firemen remember the life and legacy of James Sloan.
Plus showers, perhaps even some thunderstorms back in the forecast as we close the week out. Tracking the latest coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
We are continuing to follow a story out of Corbin. Community members are hosting a vigil for the family of Eli Hill.
The Fayette County coroner says the 8-year-old was trying to dunk a basketball on his goal outside of his home when the backboard fell on top of him. He died at UK Hospital. Eli's parents say he was young, but his light shined bright. The community echoing their words tonight. Julie Sandor talked with community members about the tragedy.
When one tragedy impacts one of us, it impacts all of us.
The whole community of Corbin can feel the pain of the Hill family.
It's been difficult because I think everybody can put themselves in this situation, you know, especially if you have children, even if you don't have children. But, you know, you just realize how precious life is and how precious every moment that you have.
The 8-year-old with a heart of gold can now be felt through the rays of sunshine that peek through the clouds on the toughest of days.
Everybody has just kind of gravitated towards his family and our students to do what they think is best to help folks right now, and it just reinforces the good in humanity.
Through the halls of the school to the stained glass windows at a local church, people like Pastor Alex Lockridge are offering a helping hand and a listening ear.
In this tragic sense, it was beautiful that everyone could pull together and feel that together, and it's been really encouraging to see how the community has responded and essentially saying we will do whatever it takes to help this family, to help all those who are grieving.
The open door policy goes a long way, welcoming anyone who needs help processing this tragedy and grief.
One thing that Eli is teaching us through all this is to, you know, take time to love one another and appreciate all the time that we have together.
Described as a young man with a big heart, his legacy will live on in the tight-knit community. In Corbin, Julia Sandor, WKYT.
Eli's parents decided to donate his organs in the hopes of saving someone's life. One of those organs, his mom says, was his heart of gold. One mom who is all too familiar with Hill's story says organ donation is so important. Shannon Adkins' 6-year-old son Keegan died nearly 12 years ago in a tragic accident. Adkins says her family also decided Keegan should be an organ donor.
He was healthy and he needed to go on and give others that opportunity to have a chance at life. It saves the lives of the organ recipients, but what they don't realize is that in some way it kind of saved my life. It saves the donor families. It just lessens the heartache a little.
Adkins says her family's decision for Keegan to donate his organs saved the lives of 4 children and an adult. Adkins says the decision her family and Eli's family made completed their son's mission.
The Hindman Volunteer Fire Department is reflecting on the life of their longest serving member.
James Sloan, who many knew as Jim, served for 46 of the department's 55-year history.
He was also the department's longest serving secretary-treasurer. I sat down with other members of the department today as they reflected on his life. Jim Sloan lived a life that members of the Hindman Volunteer Fire Department say was a life well lived.
If you looked up a firefighter in the dictionary, Jim's picture was there. He went at it with all his heart, his entire life.
Becoming a certified firefighter in 1978, Blair says Jim was active ever since, adding he was the department's longest serving secretary-treasurer.
His impact on this fire department it's beyond words. He made sure that the bills were paid. He made sure everyone was equipped with the firefighting equipment they needed at all times.
Even helping the department buy its first fire truck.
He wrote the check that paid for that fire truck.
And in his 46 years serving, he battled many of the county's fires in that truck, even after losing both legs due to medical issues.
They don't make them like that anymore. That's sure of the truth. He wasn't going to be stopped. He could go up and down hills. He continued to fish, hunt, fight fire, driving the fire apparatus. He'd done all of that stuff.
But Fire Chief Preston Hayes says Jim always put the important things in life as his priority.
The most important things to Jim was his religion, first and foremost, and secondary to that would be his family. He was all about God, and he was all about family.
Remembering the life that the good and faithful servant Jim Sloan lived.
He should be remembered and thought of as a motivation to anybody, not just as a firefighter, but an inspiration as a person, because he never let anything put him down.
The family will be receiving friends at Heinemann Funeral Services Chapel on Thursday at 11 a.m. The funeral service will begin at noon.
Well, we continue to watch mostly cloudy skies through the region this evening, and we'll continue to see chilly air, or at least cooler than normal air, last us at least a little bit longer. Temperatures remain not far from normal, really, in the mid-50s, middle and upper 50s where we should be. We're in the low to mid-50s in many spots, mid-40s into parts of southwest Virginia. The clouds continue to push out after our showers pushed out a little bit earlier. Showers to the north, showers to the south. We're quiet as we head into tonight. Temperatures in the mid-50s out there. A little muggy at times, some fog, not out of the question, but dry. That 54, though, we're kind of there, and that's where we'll be as we head through the night. Details on when we warm this up big time in a few minutes, guys.
Evan, thank you. 2 cars collided this morning, injuring 2 children. The Monticello Police Department shared on Facebook that 28-year-old Sarah Stringer was driving a 2002 Ford Expedition and tried to pull onto South Main Street from Cardinal Lane while a bus was turning into Cardinal Lane. At the same time, a 2005 Pontiac driven by 63-year-old Rebecca Bell was traveling toward the Kentucky 90 bypass in the left lane. A T-bone collision resulted in 2 children being taken to Wayne County Hospital.
One home was destroyed in Harlan County during a fire yesterday afternoon. The Harlan City Fire Department received a call about the house fire a little after 2. Yoakum Creek Volunteer Fire Department, Sunshine Fire Department, and Everett's Fire Department also responded. Officials say the fire damaged 2 nearby homes. The fire is believed to have started on the front porch. No injuries have been reported.
A Lee County, Virginia man will be serving 10 years in prison after being arrested for possessing methamphetamine with the intent to distribute it. Lee County Commonwealth's Attorney H. Fuller Cridlin announced yesterday that Stephen Milam of Jonesville, Virginia, was sentenced to serve 10 years in the Virginia Penitentiary for this crime, followed by 5 years of supervised probation. Cridlin said Milam's arrest stemmed from a traffic stop where methamphetamine that was packaged for distribution was found.
An Eastern Kentucky doctor accused of writing improper drug prescriptions was awarded $14 million in a case where he argued pharmacy companies wrongly assigned drug orders to him. A Perry County jury ruled in favor of James Dustin Cheney in his lawsuit against CVS and Rite Aid of Kentucky. Within the lawsuit, jurors found the companies knowingly or recklessly reported that Cheney wrote these prescriptions when he actually did not. Jurors ruled this made it look like Cheney had written countless prescriptions for opioid painkillers. Cheney was charged in 2014 with prescribing drugs illegally and ultimately sentenced to 30 months in federal prison.
A drag show scheduled to take place this weekend in Prestonsburg was abruptly canceled after threats of violence. The Lexington-based Open Doors Counseling Center, LLC, was set to host the Come As You Are drag show in Prestonsburg to raise money for its Rainbow Closet. Now the event has been canceled due to safety reasons. Open Doors Counseling targeted case manager and drag performer Corabelle Bundy Jolie says to see the hate in her home is saddening, but also motivating.
Being from there and realizing that there is still so much stigma and so much hate surrounding the LGBTQ plus community is very sad, but it is also motivating.
Jolie says she is motivated to continue spreading love, encouragement, and advocacy for mental health no matter the threats. We'll have more from Open Doors Counseling and the LGBTQ community tonight at 11.
Well, coming up, more wet weather on the way as we head toward the end of the week. The very latest on when these numbers go up. Coming up after this. Plus,
a local store is honoring a World War II veteran who is said to be the oldest known living plank holder.